Hi, Amy.
Hi, how
I'm good. How you doing?
pretty good.
Yeah. How's your semester going so far? You settling in a little bit?
Yeah, it's getting better. I finally worked out a schedule with the doctor I work for, and now I have Wednesdays off so
Yeah.
I can get all my stuff done and everything.
Okay, good. Good.
Yeah.
Do you have any, while we're waiting for people to come, do you have any questions or issues or anything?
Not right now. I was actually just going over everything that was due for this week,
Yeah.
and making a plan to
Okay,
finish that. So,
good. Well, I'll
yeah.
leave it through. I'm going to mute myself so you don't hear my sloshing coffee noises.
Okay.
See you in 5 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, guys, we're gonna give everyone one more minute. If you want to put your name in the chat as your attendance, that would be great while we wait for everyone else to join us. Emails. Okay. Awesome. Good morning, good morning. Good morning. Amy. Evie. Um, Okay. Okay, we're gonna get started. Good morning, everybody. So I can see that you're all here, so you obviously got the memo about the schedule. I hope that this is our last schedule update. That would be my goal. So right now, the way we're running it is Monday is in person. So if you need an in-person experience, Monday is your day, 10:10. We got kicked out of our classroom, so we're just upstairs in Health Science Center 261. Or if you want the virtual experience, that's today on Wednesday, also at 10:10. And I will record these for those of people who want to go back and look at stuff or people who missed them. Okay, so what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be covering Excel and using Excel. And so what that means is you're going to need to be on a laptop. If you're joining from a phone, also have a laptop next to you. If you're joining from a laptop, great. If you're joining from a tablet, I'm not sure how well Excel works in tablets. I don't have one, but we'll figure it out, okay? So let me share my screen here with you guys for a second. Okay, so here is where we are. We're already up to week 8. So if you guys, think about how this semester is organized, we're already halfway through the semester here. Okay, so we're all the way in week 8. There's one thing from week 7 that you need to have still on your radar, and that is the peer review. So if you submitted your tables and graphs, you should have gotten a notice for a peer review, and that you need to fill out a little Excel rubric about one of your peers' tables and graphs and give them some constructive feedback. That is due tonight. Okay, we're here in week 8. We've got Excel, so your assignment for the in-class is going to be to submit some screenshots to show me that you're following along on your own Excel document. And then the asynchronous material, what you're going to work on for the rest of the week, due Sunday, is to work on writing a results section. You're going to edit some sample result sections like we've been doing. So these are some bad ones, or not bad, but like mediocre result sections. And I want you guys to edit them, make them better. And then you're going to write up the results for your reaction time lab. So what you're going to submit is your edited method section, edited tables and figures, and then you're going to write up the results this week. And so again, bit by bit, we are building up that lab report. Due next week, next Wednesday would be a peer review from that, and then you also have a journal prompt, okay? Next week in lab, we're going to be doing, or next week in lecture, we're going to be doing a lab, so please make sure before next week that you read through this assignment and you know what is required of you, okay? So we're here in our Class 8 agenda, and what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to download these documents, and we're going to do them in a slightly different order just because of the interest of time. So we're going to focus on Excel tutorial 1 and 3. So we're not going to do Excel tutorial 2, but I included it for those of you who are interested. So I'm going to need you to download Excel 1 and Excel tutorial 3. Awesome. Okay. For your attendance quiz, what I want you guys to tell me is on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being I feel so uncomfortable with Excel. I couldn't even find it on my computer. And 10 being, I feel like I'm an Excel pro. How do you feel about Excel right now? So 1 being terrible, the worst, don't even know how to open it, to save a document, I can't do anything. And 10 being, I am a pro at Excel, I'm a wizard, I can do all sorts of Excel tricks. Okay, and once you answer that in the quiz, you could also put it in the chat, and then we'll get a feel for what people are feeling like before we start. A 6, okay. Medium, we're feeling 7 to 8, 5, 7, okay. 5, 6, about a 5. Okay, so we're all feeling like mediumly about Excel, which is totally fine. I'm gonna admit that like Excel is not my preferred software to use for most things. I pay for a fancier version of Excel. It's called GraphPad Prism, and it makes really pretty graphs and also does a lot more statistics. And I just think it's a lot easier to use, but it costs like over $100 every year. So I don't expect people to have GraphPad Prism. I do expect people to have Excel. And so the way this is going to work is I'm going to walk you through the tutorial, but I will ask, I will take pauses along the way to make sure people are following along. And if you are lost and confused, you can unmute yourself and ask, and you can also share your screen, and we can kind of like help each other out. So what I'm going to need you guys to be doing is, while we're going through this tutorial, while I'm going through it, you need to be going through it as well. Because at the end of class, I will expect that you will submit screenshots of the completed answer page showing that you're also going through this tutorial. So what I don't want to happen is I don't want people to just kind of be doing other stuff while this class goes on in the background. I want you to actually be using your computer right now to try to figure this stuff out, okay? Are there any questions before we begin while I load up the first tutorial here? Okay, awesome. So, chat up so I still have it. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so this is the first tutorial. So this is Excel Basics. It's got a table of contents. We're going to go through all of the different tabs of this document. And at the end, you're going to be required to screenshot and submit your answer sheet. So I want everyone to open up this document. Now, the fun thing about Excel, the fun thing about computers, is that there is a fun difference between a Mac and a PC. So I'm giving this class, I'm doing this lecture from my personal laptop, which is a Mac, because that's the one I feel more comfortable using Excel on. But things are going to look slightly different if you are on a PC. My work computer is a PC, so there is a little bit of a difference between what the program looks like on one device or another. So hopefully we can kind of bridge those gaps. So what I want you guys to do is open up the first document, make sure it is big on your screen, okay? And we're gonna click on the second tab here, what is your name? Okay, so throughout this tutorial, you're gonna be asked questions to answers, and they're gonna populate the answer sheet on the end. And so we're gonna start by learning about typing and clicking in Excel. So click on the dark green box and type in your name and hit Tab or Enter. So everyone type in your name, hit Tab or Enter. Awesome. Great. Okay. And again, if you have a question at any point, please unmute yourself and ask, or you can put it in the chat. Let me make sure I have the chat visible to me so I can see that.
I have a question.
Yes. What's up, Raquel?
Which one is the document that we have to have? The one that says Excel Tutorial 1 Basics?
Yes. Yes.
That is not the one that you have on the screen right now.
This is Excel Tutorial Basics. Is that not what you're seeing?
Yeah, I see that, but that's not the same document I downloaded from the link that you put on Canvas.
Okay, so there are 3 links on Canvas. There's 1, 2, and 3.
Mm-hmm.
Which one are you working on?
The answer sheet for us.
Say that again, Amy.
It's just populating the answer sheet. So like we don't have that graphic that you have pulled up. We just have
Okay.
the answer sheet.
Okay. So on the bottom, you want to make sure you're clicked on intro and then, okay. It just populates the answer sheet.
Yes.
Okay. Let's try this again. So you have to go into the, go into the intro tab. Okay. So I'm going to backtrack here. Okay. Can everyone see Excel tutorial 1 on my screen? Yes. Yes. Okay. So let's just jump here. You have to go into the intro. Okay. Let's do it again. I think it was my fault. I think I was on the wrong screen. And I was talking and typing in 2 different things. So we should be in the same one now. Is everyone seeing entering numbers on their screen and on my screen? If someone could unmute themselves and tell me that they're seeing the right thing.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. This is a learning experience for all of us. Okay, so we're going to practice entering numbers. So when you enter numbers in Excel, you want to hit enter after the number. And so what we're going to do is take the numbers that are listed here, and we're going to type them into this blue column. Most of the time when you do experiments and you want to enter your data, you want to enter it into a column vertically as opposed to a horizontal row, because it just creates, it's easier to switch into charts and statistical functions from a column than it is from a row. So what I want you guys to do is to type these numbers in the column: 34.4, 28.2, 20.9, 18.6, 32.7. And then put your name in the dark green box. Okay, so you can hit tab when you're done answering, or you can hit enter, and it should populate down. Okay. Any questions about that? People feel good? Awesome. So we're going to go to the next tab here, which is how to highlight. So when you highlight things, you're going to take your mouse, you're going to put it on the square you want to start highlighting, and then you're going to click and drag, and you're going to highlight everything that you want to highlight. And it's used to select different fields. So we want to highlight all of the things in blue here. We're going to start on the top left corner and place our cursor on the top left corner, and then we're going to click and drag and highlight everything. So we have now highlighted all 3 columns in blue, and to copy them we're going to hit Control-C, and then we're going to place our cursor in where we want the new top left cell to go, which is here in yellow, and we're going to hit Control-V to paste. Okay. Hopefully everyone was able to do that. Now, sometimes you want to be able to not just copy the first, like everything in a group, but maybe you want to do the first column and the third column, but not the middle one. To do that, we need to use the control button. So you're going to click on that first cell, again on the top left corner, and you're going to highlight down. And before you let go of your mouse, you hit control. Before you let go of your mouse, you hit control, and then you go to the next section. Oh, see, I didn't do that right. Before you let go of your mouse, you hit control, and then you select your second column. Okay, on a Mac, it's not control, it's command. On a Mac, it's command. On a PC, it's control. And then you're gonna hit where your next one wants to go. Oh, I did that wrong. Hold on. This is fun. Okay, select the first one, hit control on a PC, command on a mouse. Select the second one, hit Control-C. Cannot be used on multiple selections. Awesome. So the fun Mac PC world is really hitting me right now. Here we go. Oh man. Okay, so on a PC you can do this, on a Mac you can't. I just learned that the hard way. So
Okay, so I had to hold down command while I like highlighted it and then went on to highlight the next one.
And then you highlight, yeah, so I did that, right? And then you're supposed to edit, copy. Oh, and then edit, paste. Thank you. Who just helped me out? Who is talking right now?
It's me, Kylie. I'm sick.
Hi, Kylie. Thank you, Kylie. So when I did this on Monday's class, I was using the desktop that's in the classroom, and it was a PC. So we're figuring this out together. Okay, so if you have a PC, you want to hit the control button, and if you don't have a PC, you want to hit the command button. Okay, and you want to copy and paste them. Now, what you should see is 2 columns side by side. 2 columns side by side. Did anyone have trouble doing that like me?
Yes, ma'am. I can't get it to not copy the middle column.
Are you, Caleb, are you on a PC or a Mac?
PC.
Okay.
Well, I'm on a Dell. Yeah.
You're on a Dell. Okay, so you're going to highlight the first column, and then
Mhm.
before you lift up your cursor, you're going to hit the command button and hold the command button down, or the control button. Sorry, you're on a PC. The control button. You're going to hold the control button and then highlight the second column.
Okay.
And then you're going to go to edit and hit copy. And then click on that yellow box, or that yellow box would be, and hit edit paste.
Oh no.
I need help too, and I'm on a Mac.
You're on a Mac?
Yes.
Okay, so you are going to click on that first box. You click on that first box, and you're going to highlight it. And while your cursor is still down, you're still like clicking, you're going to hit Command on a Mac or Control on a PC. And then you're going to highlight your next one. And then you're going to go to Edit and hit Copy.
Do I let go of the cursor once I press Command?
Once you, I don't remember. Hold on, let me do it again. You know when you do something and you're not quite sure like what you did? Okay, so I'm holding my cursor. Then I'm going to click Command and I'm going to let go. Go on my finger. And then highlight the next one. And then let go of everything. And then hit Edit, Copy. Click where I want it to go and hit Edit, Paste.
So it won't let me like highlight the second one. It keeps, once I press Command and then go over to highlight it, it like doesn't highlight the first one anymore.
Okay, so we're going to click on the first one and we're going to hit Command. Oh, okay. You still need to hold the Command.
Oh, okay.
So with it's a two-handed procedure, right? So with the first hand, I start by highlighting that first column, and then with my second hand, I hit Command, and then I let go of my first hand, and I highlight my second column while still holding Command.
Oh, okay.
And then when both of them are highlighted, then I hit Edit, Copy. It's mad because I keep hitting Edit, Copy, and then you go to Edit, Paste.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Was everyone able to get that first part?
Can you say again? I'm in a Mac too. Do we have to click and press Command at the same time?
Yeah. It's a two-handed approach. Okay, so with the first hand, I'm going to highlight the first column. And then keeping it pressed down, I'm now going to take my second hand and hit Command. And then let go of my first hand and highlight my second column. And then let go of both and hit Edit, Copy.
Oh, okay. I did it. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Is everyone, computers are one of the most stressful things. They give me anxiety sometimes. Is everyone on the same page?
So mine is saying that I cannot use a multiple function.
Oh man, I don't even know what that means. What computer are you on?
I'm on a Mac, so I was able to get it copied and everything, but it just will not allow me to paste.
See, when you go to edit,
And paste, yep, just like you are, but it will not allow me to put it in a different cell.
Okay, so try clicking paste special and click on values and hit OK.
Okay, it just copied the entire thing
Okay.
when I did that.
we'll come back to you if there's time at the end. How about that?
Okay.
Because this is kind of like, it's important, but it's not as important as the stuff we're about to do.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to means. So we're gonna click on the next tab. So we're gonna calculate mean. So you wanna click on the yellow square beside the word mean. For Excel, if you wanted to do some sort of statistical or mathematical function, you need to tell it that that's what you're doing by hitting the equal sign. So we're gonna type in equals, and then in all caps, we're gonna type the word average. Now, if it starts to populate like a drop-down menu like this, you can click or double-click and get that function to appear, or you can keep typing. It doesn't matter. Both will give you the same. So it should say average, and now we should see parentheses. On a PC, it'll just give you the first parenthesis. It won't give you the second one. On a Mac, it'll give you both parentheses. This is fun, right? We're having fun. Okay, so we're going to click and highlight the first column. And so what you should see is the numbers that correspond to the first cell, so D5, and then a colon, and then the numbers that are for the last cell, D11. And what this means is calculate the average of all of the cells between D5 and D11. You then want to make sure you have a closed parentheses at the end of it, and then you're going to hit enter. And it should give you the mean for that set of numbers, which in this case is 27.2. Did anyone have any issues doing that? Awesome. Look at us. We're making progress. So what I now want you to answer in the green is tell me what the mean means. What is the mean? When I say calculate the mean, what does that mean? What does that tell us about a set of numbers? Type that into the green box. While you do that, I'm gonna drink some water because my throat gets dry when I get nervous, and computer stuff always makes me nervous. This is why I don't teach statistics or computational science or anything, because this is painful. Okay, now that we've calculated the mean, let's do the standard deviation. So we're gonna click into the pink box, and again, we want a formula, so we're gonna hit equals. For standard deviation, it's standard diva is the function. So again, you can either type it all out or you can click it from the drop-down menu. And again, we wanna highlight those cells, D5, or in this case, it's D4 to D10. And then you wanna have a closed parentheses, and then you want to hit the enter or return key, and you should see your standard deviation. If done correctly, it should be around 6.35. Did anyone have any issues calculating the standard deviation?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't see what you had done.
Okay, you want to type into the pink box equals, and then in all caps, STDEVA, and then open parentheses, and then you want to highlight the blue cells, which will come out to be D4 colon D10. And then you want to do a close parenthesis and hit enter.
Okay, so it should just be D10, right?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
When you do this, Excel is going to think you've made a mistake. And so it's going to tell you like what your mistake is. Most of the time, they're stupid, so just ignore that. This was telling you that it's an unprotected formula because the formula above it is locked. We're just gonna ignore that. Sometimes it'll get mad about like the cells that you've collected. We're gonna ignore those.
Excuse me.
Yes, Caleb. What's up?
Mine says 6.42, but I do have D5 and D10.
Okay, so it's D4 to D10.
Okay, so can I just go in that box above it and put
Yeah,
D4?
so in this typing box, you can just change it to D4.
Okay.
Okay, so while Caleb is working on that, what you want to answer next is, what does a standard deviation mean? What does the standard deviation tell us about the set of numbers? Why do we use standard deviation? Okay, that's our, think back to our statistics video. Okay. So most of the basic statistics you're going to do for this class are going to be mean and standard deviation. That's kind of the analysis that we want to do for our data sets most of the time. So let's do a few more basic Excel functions. We're going to talk about fill now. Oftentimes, when you're doing Excel and you're setting up your data, you want to do the same function over and over again. So say you've collected reaction times, right, for a bunch of different trials, and you've put them in columns, right? So let's say this is your reaction time for trial 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you want to calculate the same functions for all of your trials. In this way, we don't have to retype the formula over and over again. We can instead do something called fill. So we're going to first calculate the average or the mean by going to the first blue box and typing in equals and the word average and an open parentheses, and then highlighting D4 to D10, typing a close parenthesis, and hitting enter. And so that should bring up our first average, okay? In the box below it, we want to do the standard deviation, just like we did on the previous tab. So we're going to hit equals in all caps, STDEVA, open parentheses, and again, D4, highlight to D10, close parentheses. So this should look just like the previous tab with our average and our standard deviation. Now, what you can do here is something called fill. And you can see if we click first on our mean, so we're going to select that first cell. You can do it by hitting this button, fill, and go to the right. Oh, sorry. You want to click one to the right of that button, fill from the right. And what it will do is, and you can see what it's done here on the top, where it says equals the average. So it's taken that same function and it's applied it to the next column. So it's taken the average of E4 to E10, right? Which is this box E4 to E10. Does everyone see that, how we've done that first one? Now, I have a different way that I like to do it. I like to highlight the first cell, the cell that has the function. And you see when you've highlighted that first cell, your cursor looks like a white cross, okay? If you go to the bottom right corner of the box of that first cell, your cursor will turn from a white cross to a black cross. When you have a black cross, you want to click, and then you're going to drag across to all of the columns you want to put that function in, the average function. And when you let go, you should see that each of them is that average. So again, the column to the right is the average of E4 to E10. The next one is the average of F4 to F10. And then the last one is the average of G4 to G10. Does everyone see how I did that?
Could you show it one time?
I'm going to do it again for the standard deviation. Yeah, so we're going to click on the box that we want, the box that contains the function. So this is where I typed in, and I did all that typing to get standard deviation of G4 to D10. And again, when I click on it to begin with, my cursor is white. I'm going to move my cursor so that it's in the bottom right corner of the cell. And it should appear as a black cross. When I see the black cross, then I'm going to click. And it's going to change to this fun little square thing with arrows. Everyone see that little square thing? And then I'm going to drag across those 4 pink cells. And what this is doing is it's putting that function, the standard deviation function, into each of those cells. And when I've highlighted all the way across, I let go, and boom, it populates. And I'm going to double check. I always double check my Excel work because it's very easy to make a mistake. So I'm going to click on the next one, and it has copied the function over, standard deviation, but it's done it for the next column, E4 to E10. Standard deviation, F4 to F10, standard deviation, G4 to G10.
What was the importance of hitting fill before you?
So there are 2 ways to fill it. There's one is the way I showed you with the black cross. If you don't want to do that, you can just hit the fill button, but it only does one box at a time, and it's kind of annoying. So I prefer to click and drag as a fill as opposed to hitting the fill icon. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions people have? Was everyone able to get this far? Okay, so what we did right now is we filled to the right. We filled across replicate columns, for example, in a trial. When would we ever want to fill down? That's what you want to answer in the question. So think about it for a minute. When would we ever want to fill down? Can anyone think of an example of a time you would want to hit fill or drag it fill down? Okay, so fill down, let me show you a fun tip on fill down. I'm gonna go to just a random spot here. So say I need to type the same number over and over and over again, right? So say I wanna have like 3 number ones. I could type 1 number 1 and hit enter. And again, I'm gonna fill down. So I'm gonna first hover over the cell. I see the white cross, right? I'm gonna go to the bottom right corner, get the black cross. And if I click and drag it, it'll repeat that number down, right? Because the only thing in this cell is the number 1, and I can fill down. What if I want to populate a numbered list? Well, Excel is smart enough to sense patterns. And so if I see 1 and 2, the pattern there, you would predict the next cell to be 3, right? We're building a numbered list. If I highlight both of them, so I click and highlight both the 1 and the 2, I go to the bottom right corner, I get the black cross, and then I start dragging it. Excel will know what I'm doing. Excel will be like, oh, she's building a numbered list. Those 2 numbers are 1 number apart. And it will predict that you want to fill down with 3, 4, 5, 6. Does everyone see how I did that? Any questions about that? Any questions about fill? Okay. Let's talk about paste and pasting things. The joys of copy and paste. If you have 2 charts, so say we have this chart right here with all of our numbers, and then we have another chart, maybe this is our control group and our experimental group, and we want to do the same calculation. Rather than typing it over and over again, we can copy and paste the formula. So you can copy and paste several different things. The default for Excel is to copy and paste the formula that you type in a box. So if we type in equals, all capital letters, average, open parentheses, we highlight D4 to D10, we hit the close parentheses, we hit enter, and below it, again, we want to do the standard deviation, STDEVA, open parentheses, highlight D4 to D10, close the parentheses. Now, if we want to fill both of those, we want to do means all the way across where it says mean in the pink, and we want to do standard deviations all the way across in the pink. We're going to fill that to start. So we're going to click on that first box, get it to the black cross by going to the bottom right corner, click and drag and fill, and then we're going to do the same for the standard deviation. Click on it, get our black cross, click and drag and fill. Okay, was everyone able to do that first part with fill? Yes, okay. So now we want to do the same thing right below it, right? So we're going to click and highlight the whole area in blue, all 8 of these cells. We're going to click and highlight, and we're going to hit edit, copy, and we're going to go to the top left cell where we want to put this stuff, and we're going to hit edit, paste. And what you'll notice is that it did not paste the numbers. So on the top here, we have 27.2 and 6.3. It didn't paste those numbers. It didn't put 27.2 and 6.3. Instead, it pasted the formula. And again, you can check that by clicking on the cell and looking in this top bar, which will tell you what's happening in that cell. And so you can see what's happening is it's doing the average from D14 to D20, which is exactly what we wanted, right?
Excuse me.
Yes.
Right here, the first standard deviation, mine is when I type in STD, it's not wanting to pick up that I want a standard deviation.
Okay, you might have to keep typing. So you might have to type in equals. Did you type in the equals bar?
No, I did not.
Okay,
That's
you gotta
probably the
type in
problem.
equals. That'll get you. Equals
Yes.
STDEVA. It's a good trick. Good trick. Okay. Did anyone else have any other issues with copying and pasting? Now, this will get you into trouble in one instance. Copy and paste assumes that your data tables are set up in the exact same way. It assumes that there are the same number of items. If, for example, this 18.4 was not here, right? If this number did not exist, it would not be calculating the average of this number to this number. It would be putting, it will still be trying to calculate from this bar. So if we look, see, it's still including this empty box. And so you want to make sure that you are still finding the average of the things that you want to. Does that make sense to everybody? Does anyone have any questions about this first part of pasting? Okay, so again, the default paste is the formula. Let's figure out how to do some paste specials. So we're gonna go to PS1, pumpkin spice 1, and we're gonna paste transpose, okay? Paste transpose. So say you accidentally set up your data table and you type in your data horizontally, but you wanna put it vertically. Don't worry about it, very easy to fix. We're going to click and highlight all 8 cells that we want, and we're gonna hit edit, copy. Okay, then we're gonna click on the yellow box, again, the top left corner of where we wanna put the data, and we're gonna hit edit, paste special. Don't hit paste, hit paste special. And when you bring up paste special, it brings up lots and lots of options, right? Paste everything, paste just the formula, just the value, just the format, just the comments, merge the formats, the value and the number, the formula and the number, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Add the numbers, skip blanks. What we're gonna focus on first is this button, transpose. Transpose takes things that are horizontal and it rotates them 90 degrees to make them vertical. So if we click OK, we now have taken what was a horizontal category and made it vertical. Does everyone see that? Any questions about that? Transpose, I want everyone to do that. Click, so select your data, edit copy, edit paste special, transpose. We can click it again here, edit, paste special, transpose, hit OK. Just did it again. Okay. Any questions about paste special transpose? No. Okay. Let's do paste special 2. So what if we just want to paste the numbers? So if we click control, if we hit edit copy for 27.2 and we try to put it in the yellow box with edit paste, it gets all mad. Why does it get mad? Well, we can look here in this top bar and see what it's doing is it's taking the formula, right? So it's doing the average of this stuff and it's like, what the heck is going on? These are not numbers. I am confused. Here's how we can unconfuse it. We're gonna click on the pink bar and we're gonna hit paste special. Paste special. That's not what I want. Hold on. Let me try it again. Edit copy. Edit copy, go to the pink bar, hit edit, paste special. Here we go. And we want to just paste the values. So not the formula, which is average, but just the number, 27.2. And we hit OK, bam, we have 27.2. So I want everyone to hit paste special 27.2 in the pink bar. Okay. Any questions about pasting special? Okay, so we've got 10 minutes left, so I'm going to try and go through the next part kind of quickly. Unmute yourself if you get stuck. and ask and be like, professor, slow down. Okay, so we're gonna set up a spreadsheet in order to analyze data. So in order to analyze data, you wanna separate out your control and your experimental. And you wanna put the things that you're measuring here separate. So say we're looking at plants and we're trying to do plant height, leaf height, first node height. Those would be all different measured variables. We put those in columns, but we would separate out control treated from experimental treated, okay? And then what I've done here is merge the cells and put borders and just spent some time making it pretty. So we don't have to do that. So this is how you would set up your Excel spreadsheet if you're trying to do a data, okay? When you click on answers, what should happen is all of the answers you put for the questions should populate here on the answers tab. What I want you to do is take a screenshot of your answers tab, and that is the first thing you're going to submit for the week 8 class assignment. So screenshot this answers page. Okay, I'm going to switch to my other window here while you guys do that. Okay, so we're now going to talk about, I have to make this smaller, hold on. It's too big. Uh-oh, that might be too small. Let's pull. This is always fun, isn't it?
So do we not need to do anything on the setup page?
Don't do anything on the setup page because we're running out of time.
Okay.
We're going to switch gears, and in 9 minutes, I'm going to tell you about tables. Okay, so we're on Excel tutorial 3, charts. Let's briefly go through this. So when you make a table from a figure, if you want to make a figure, you first have to make a table. And specifically, you need a table that lists the means and the standard deviations for each measurement, because what you're going to be graphing is not all of your raw data, but you're going to graph the means and the standard deviations. So what you need to do is create first a data entry table where you put all of your raw numbers and you calculate, like we just talked about, the mean and the standard deviation. Okay, so that's the first thing you're going to need to do. Whenever you're doing charts on Excel, you're first going to need to create a data entry table and calculate your means and your standard deviations. Now, from there, you want to think about how you set that up. So your data entry table, this has all of the values you collected. So this is again for plants. We measure the total length, we measure the first internode for our control and our auxin treated plants, right? And these are all of our raw data. We then want to make a second table. So after we've put our raw data into the table, we want to put our mean and our standard deviation into its own table to make an easier chart, to make it easier to make the chart. So we're going to copy and paste special the values from our data entry table into our table for a figure. And for this, you want to notice that the dependent variable, the mean and the standard deviation, they're kept in separate columns with the title on the top, so total length and first internode. And we have our independent variable on the side, right? So you want to answer the question, which one is placed in the row and which one is the column? So what is our dependent variable and our independent variable?
I'm sorry, but I don't think I have that T1 or T2 tab or the table tab.
This is a different chart. So this is Excel tutorial 3.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good. I'm rushing a little bit. I'm sorry. So this is Excel tutorial 3. We're on T2. Okay, so we've made a data entry table. We've calculated our means and standard deviations just like we did before. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put them into our own little table here. Okay, now what I want you guys to do on this next tab table is I want you to make the table. So here below is an example. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure we can do this. So we're going to type in total length, hit enter, type in mean, type in standard deviation, type in first internode. We can copy and paste, edit, copy and paste our mean and standard deviation there. So everyone should be typing right now on your computer. Control and oxen. And now we want to put the values in the right spot. So we want to make sure, okay, total length mean for the control is this number. I'm going to copy and I'm going to paste special, just that value. And then again, for the standard deviation, I'm going to copy and I'm going to paste special, just that value. Okay. And then same for the first internode. Now what you can do is you can click on both the mean and the standard deviation here on your data entry table. And what we want to paste them is not just the value, but a value transpose. So if you do both of them at the same time, you hit edit, paste special, the value transpose, and that will take the numbers from vertical again and flip them 90 degrees to horizontal. And we're going to do the same for our drug treated. This should say oxen right here, not cytokine. I got this from a random.
Once you hit paste special, do you go to values?
Yeah, so once you copy them, edit copy, you click on where you want them to go. So I want these two numbers to go here. We're going to go edit, paste special, and we're going to click on values and transpose. Click both things, values and transpose. And hit OK. So again, I've selected both of them, edit, copy, clicked on where I want them to go, edit, paste special, values, transpose. We're going to click OK. Okay. So that was just a reminder about pasting and a reminder about those functions. So again, when you do an experiment, you set up a data entry table for yourself. And the data entry table has every single measurement that you've taken. And it also has the spot where your statistics go. So we calculated the mean, we calculated the standard deviation. To make a figure, however, you need to set up a different table that just has the means and the standard deviations. So to do that, we did the paste special of the values of the means and the standard deviations, and we put them into their own little table. And this will be the table for the figure. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a video of myself walking through the rest of these tabs, and I will post that video today because we're out of time. And what I'll do is I'll post the video and explain the rest of this Excel tutorial. And then what I'll need you guys to do is to complete it by Friday. So by Friday, you'll need to submit the screenshots of the answer sheet from the first tutorial and a screenshot of the answer sheet from this tutorial, just showing me that you've completed it. Does that make sense to everyone? Does anyone have any questions? No. Okay.
I have one from the table tab. We just moved right, like
yes,
toward answers to complete it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. And so again, I'll make a video as soon as we leave this class. I'll make a video. WebEx and Zoom can sometimes both take a little while to post the video, but I'll post it today so that you guys can go through the rest of the steps for making graphs. Okay. Does anyone have any other questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
When we submit the screenshot of the answer tab, are you gonna see if our numbers are right?
For the first one, I won't really pay too much attention to that. For the second one, I'll see if you made the graph correctly because we're not like doing it together and you're not able to ask a question. So I'll really pay attention to that other one with the graph.
With a graph, okay, because I had some numbers different because I did something wrong on the paste part. I was just wondering, but
yeah,
it's okay.
Don't worry about that. But we're gonna focus on making the graph right. Any other questions you guys have?
I was like 3 minutes late. Can I still do the attendance quiz?
Yes, you are rating on a scale of 1 to 10 how comfortable you feel with Excel. 1 being I don't even know how to open it, and 10 being I feel like an Excel wizard and I can do everything on Excel.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions, guys? No. Okay. You guys are free to go. I will make that video and post it today, and I will see you next week. Ify, did you have any questions?
No, I'm sorry. I'm trying to leave.
No, you're good. I'll end it for you.
Okay.